Hi there smartphone fans, this is Steven Fox, and if you're looking for a big battery, budget phone with unique cameras, you may have found it. Here is my Zenfone 4 Max Plus video in-depth review. As you can see, the Zenfone 4 Max is a premium build budget phone, kind of looks like the OnePlus 5 or the Xiaomi Mi 5X, and it has a large 5000 mAh battery powered by an octa-core chip with very unique cameras. The dual cameras here have one standard sensor, which is your standard smartphone camera, and the other is a very wide angle or fisheye field of view camera, which you can also shoot videos with. So this is a very good option for those of you who like a more action-packed phone. And inside the package, Asus have packed a micro USB cable for data and charging, a fast charger, and the SIM tray pin along with manual and warranty. The Zenfone 4 Max Plus is a 5.5-inch display, but it has very small top and bottom bezels as well as side bezels for a budget phone. The display is actually quite okay and accurate, and it does support also a fingerprint scanner on the front. The back is made of metal and it's very nice skin texture on it, and on the top part you do have a 3.5mm headphone jack, something that's missing from even top range flagships and iPhones, so this is a big plus for the Zenfone 4 Max Plus. Man, this is a mouthful. And on the bottom you do have two speakers, but it's just a single speaker that's active. The other acts as a microphone and a micro USB charger. The keys are on screen, and unfortunately you cannot use the front fingerprint scanner for navigation, just for unlocking your phone, and you have to make do with the on-screen keys. However, this is not a very big issue. The bigger issue is that you can't switch the back and the recent tabs menu. This is something that I would have liked to see in this phone. But as far as a budget phone goes, this is a very decent option, packing good specs, interesting cameras, and very good design. And the front fingerprint scanner, as I said, can only be used for unlocking, but it's very fast and accurate, so you won't have any issues with it at all. And the Zenfone Zen UI is very customizable and has lots of neat features. If you're concerned about weight, the Zenfone 4 Max Plus 5000 mAh battery weighs average and is actually very light for a big battery phone. And here you can see that it does also pack a notification LED on the top left, although being a very faint one. It can be charged with the micro USB cable and they support fast charging, and you can charge the Zenfone 4 Max Plus full battery in just around 2.5 hours. Now, most of you really want this phone about the battery life, and as battery life goes, this phone delivers. If you're playing mostly video from the internal storage, YouTube, and doing lots of browsing, you will regularly get 10 hours of screen on time on a single charge with very heavy use. So 2 days of heavy usage are very possible on this thing. But if you're using mainly for gaming, you expect around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time on a single charge, which is something very good. And considering connectivity, this supports Bluetooth 4, and it does cover 4G LTE bands in Europe, Asia, United States, and Canada as well. So this phone will definitely work in the US and Canada with most operators. The Zen UI is a very colorful user interface, and it's not that much apart from stock Android. You get also an app drawer, and it does come with a flurry of extra features and customization options, as well as a very dedicated power usage mode and an easy mode for those of you who like a more simple design. And since this is an Android Nougat phone, this also comes with split screen multitasking feature and screen recording as well. As mentioned previously, the accent on Zen UI is heavy on customization, and you can basically tinker around with anything you want in this UI as long as you have the time and if you're willing to do so. However, it's a bit too cartoony for my taste, and it's definitely more kid-friendly interface than I would like, but you can always slap a novel launcher or Google Now or anything you want and change the outlook of it. So for those of you experienced out there, seasoned Android users, even if you don't like the UI, you can still change it. The 5.5-inch HD display is IPS and offers very good viewing angles, very good color reproduction, with the colors being a bit more punchy and saturated, and even outside sunlight visibility is quite okay. Here as you can see a very good YouTube clip running on it, and with the smaller bottom and side bezels it gets a very good viewing experience. Now check out the speaker quality. Around the performance part, the Zenfone 4 Max Plus offers the same user experience as say a Redmi 4X or similar $140–150 phones on the market. Definitely not a Snapdragon 821 or Snapdragon 35 points, but very good daily driver usage. Apps open quite quickly and RAM management is definitely okay in my books, as well as split screen multitasking works very well on this device. Now you will experience some slowdowns from time to time, which is normal with a budget price range phone, but in general I was pleased with the daily driver performance of the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Plus, and it really depends from what type of phone you're coming here. If you're using this as a secondary phone and you have a very fast say Samsung S8 or something, you will definitely feel a bit slower, but if you're using the same kind of device or coming from say a Moto G4 Play or something like that, you will think that the Asus Zenfone Max Plus really runs like hell. And as you can see, opening apps is very quickly, and even heavy newsfeed apps load quite fast. The Zenfone 4 Max Plus storage is not the fastest on the market, and if there's one area that it doesn't really do very well is with loading heavy games. You will definitely feel the a bit longer loading times with the most heavy games out there on the Android market. And of course, speaking about gaming, let's check out the Zenfone 4 Max Plus gaming performance. Here it is running Modern Strike Online, which is a very good first-person shooter like Counter-Strike on PC, and I do recommend you checking it out. It's free from the Play Store. And the Zenfone 4 Max Plus HD display handles that this first-person shooter actually is intensive, and it handles it quite well. The graphics here are very nice, but it's not very heavy on effects and shaders. And here is running a GTA kind of clone on Android. This is Gangsta Las Vegas. And this is another game that's not very heavy on shader effects, but has good 3D graphics and also actually runs very well on the Zenfone 4 Max Plus. And with the bigger battery, you can definitely get long gaming hours in such a game if this is the game for your choice. But when we switch on the heavy 3D effects and lots of lighting games like CSR Racing 2, you can definitely feel the skipped frames, and it will be the flag. So the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Plus is an okay gaming phone. It performs adequately for the budget, but it's not exceptionally good. Now, in the camera department, Asus really tried to deliver a very unique and feature-rich camera experience, and for the most part they succeeded. The dual cameras here, as I said, don't work together to produce a better low-light shot and are not RGB and monochrome sensor, but instead are like the LG G6. One is a regular smartphone sensor and the other is a very wide-angle one like a fisheye sensor. And both cameras are used only separately, and you can take photos and take videos with them and switch them on the fly using that mountain-like icon on your right, on the left to the shutter button. And this phone actually, I think, caters more to the people who like to take more videos and wide-angle shots, since I don't definitely think you're using the panorama mode here when you have wide-angle sensor. But the good thing is that Asus actually implemented a full-blown manual mode, so you can get very decent photo quality if you have a tripod, and you can use longer exposure with this camera. So a very feature-rich camera experience, but let's check out the actual results, because I can talk a lot about this, and actually I can tell you that both cameras do support Full HD video recording, and there's a 5 megapixel front cam. And now here is a regular shot with the regular sensor And again, here is a wide angle shot. Now you can definitely tell that the quality is a bit inferior to the regular sensor since the secondary sensor is lower in quality, but it actually in good light condition takes pretty decent photos, and you can definitely tell that you're getting much more in the frame than with the regular shot. And here is another landscape example, so you can see how much more detail it gets. Very good for filming concerts and events. And this is the video from the regular sensor. Again, you can see pretty decent video quality, pretty okay stabilization, not the most anti-shaky around. And when you turn on the wide angle, you can definitely take much more in that frame. The video quality on both cameras is definitely okay, but again, the wide angle camera does differ from the lower bitrate and lower resolution. The zoom I found on this phone actually to be very good. I don't know if both cameras use, but it's actually pretty decent. However, it's a bit shaky, as well as the main camera on the camera experience. It's okay for a budget phone, but don't expect great low light performance, and it does tend to overexpose shots. However, it does deliver accurate colors, although a bit too dark in my book, but the low light performance just downright isn't there, and especially on the wide angle camera. The selfie camera is actually pretty decent, very okay for social medias, and the view from the selfie camera is okay for vlogging as well, but again, it's a bit too darkly toned in the color department. And if you want to use it for your social medias, it's okay, but definitely don't expect great low light performance since this isn't a front camera orient. And here are my final thoughts on the Asus Zenfone 4 Max Plus. It's a very good battery life phone, very good build quality with unique wide angle cameras, decent zoom quality, and okay daily driver performance. If you're looking for that very unique budget time phone with good battery life, and if you want it to work in USA and Canada, pretty much everywhere around the world, this is a very good second or main driver option. However, the wide angle cam quality is not that good, heavy 3D games will lag, and the fingerprint scanner can be used for navigation, and both cameras low light performance is just not really good. So that's been it. Hope you enjoyed my Zenfone 4 Max Plus review. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, subscribe to my channel, and you can buy the phone from the link in the video description below. This has been Steven Fox, thank you for coming back.